So we're going to get started in just a little bit here. Before we get started, does anyone have any aches or sorenesses that I should be aware of? All right, I take that silence as a good sign. Oh, I got a chat message. Oh, hello. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my introduction here, and then we'll get to the workout today. So my name is Brent. I'm a physical therapist and certified strength and conditioning specialist. I work a lot with adaptive athletes in the sports realm, so doing CrossFit, adaptive rock climbing, dabbling in track and field, and this is a lot of fun. It's something I was already thinking about doing, and then when my work hours got cut down, I had a lot of free time to start to make this actually happen. So this class is meant to get you moving, get you hot and sweaty. We're going to do everything in a circuit style. We always start with a warm-up. This is why I'm not a weatherman. Warm-up. And then we're going to practice the 5 exercises we're going to do in our circuit today. And the 5 exercises, first is going to be that double arm row. So that's when we're going to want some heavier weights to be using. Ideally have 2 bags, so a backpack and a duffel bag, 2 backpacks, 2 duffel bags. If you don't have 2 bags, that's okay. You can just hold on to 1 bag and then use that as your weight. We're going to be doing a curtsy lunge afterwards to start to work the legs. The curtsy lunge will go into that. It's a spiraling lunge. If for whatever reason that doesn't work for you, you can do a standard lunge. We're going to be doing a reach through plank. I know that was written a little bit small there, but that's for people who maybe can't use their legs but still can get down to the ground comfortably. This is going to be a dynamic core exercise to challenge your rotational capacity. And for people who are not comfortable getting out of a chair, we have an upward chop. This is also going to be a rotational movement, so working that spiraling pattern there. Next one is going to be push-ups. Push-ups, we know push-ups. We're going to show you guys a lot of variations so that you guys can find the push-up variation that fits you best. If you can't get to the ground or out of a chair to do push-ups, we're going to do an overhead press instead. And then we're going to go into a lateral bird dog. I just showed Deb what those were. They're a lot of fun. They can be pretty challenging. We're going to have fun with that. The substitute for that, if you're still in a chair, is a single arm lateral raise. We'll get into that as well. And then we're going to finish the circuit with squats. If you can't do squats, you're going to do dips. In the chair, you're using yoga blocks, whatever you have available to you to create a deficit. All right. So any questions on the format of the class?
Then are you guys getting some?
All right, so we're good with the format. Can I get some thumbs up? All right. So we're going to get started with the warm-up here. I'm going to be muting you guys for the majority of the workout and periodically unmuting you guys to check in on how you're doing. All righty. So if you're going to be doing this exercise in sitting, start in sitting. If you're going to be doing this workout in standing, start in standing. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start to roll our shoulders out, loosen up the neck a little bit. Take your arms by your side, let them relax a bit. And now what I want you to do is roll your shoulders up to the front and then towards your ears, taking up that space, and then roll them around the back, pushing the shoulder blades down your rib cage. Coming up to the front, bring your shoulders up to your ears, bring them around, and then slide them down your rib cage. Continuing with that easy, consistent movement. This is supposed to be gentle. Focus on a nice, controlled breath as well. We always start our warm-ups kind of slow. And then we want to make sure that we slowly, gradually pick up the pace of our workouts. All right, keep going with those shoulder rolls. And then next, we're going to reverse that shoulder roll, coming around the back, up your shoulder blade, or up your rib cage, And then coming around the front, sliding the shoulders down the front of your chest. And then coming around the back, shoulders back behind you. Slide the shoulder blades up the rib cage, coming around. For those of us who have been stuck in front of a computer all day, your shoulders and neck might get tight from staring at the monitor. For those of you who have been coming to this class, you know I keep talking about this because it's a pretty legitimate problem that I see on a regular basis in the clinic, especially nowadays. So continue with that consistent movement and easy breathing. All right. Next one, we're going to gently roll our necks around in a circle. Take your head to a nice end range, large circle, but don't stress it either. You should feel a gentle pull throughout your neck, particularly as you're coming to look up. Feel a stretch in the front of your neck. And then come around. Feel a stretch as you look up at the ceiling. And come around. A couple more rotations like that. And then let's reverse it. Go in the other direction. Rotating around. Get some nice stretches in the front and sides of your neck. These are areas that commonly get tight in people. They can sometimes restrict your breathing. If you notice you've been stressed out with work, stressed out with life, these areas can oftentimes get tight. And it can make your breathing a little bit more labored. So just working on opening up that space. All right. Shake out your head a little bit. You're going to move your arms around a little bit. We're going to bring your arms up. And then slowly curl yourself down. Gently. And then slide your arms up the front. Arms come up. And then I want you to extend backwards. If you're in standing, you're going to come down, gently folding. And slide your hands up the front. Coming up and extend. Open up the front of your body. Work on balancing everything out. I did a pretty heavy abdominal workout yesterday, so this is all sore. So this is a great stretch for me. Keep up that smooth movement. And remember, this is supposed to be gentle. Don't crank on anything just yet. Just a couple more. Do one more forward bend, sliding up, and then extend your body. All right, check it out. We're gonna take your one arm, we're gonna raise it up around, and rotate, take the other arm in front, and we're gonna twist and spiral, reaching through your fingertips as far as you can in each direction. Work on opening up each side of your body as you twist. If you're in seated, let's be doing the same thing. Reaching through, around. Big arcing motion. As one arm comes up to the front, the other arm's coming around the back, and you're constantly reaching through your fingertips as wide as you can. Good. And then reverse that twist, coming around the other way. It should kind of look like now you're doing a freestyle stroke in swimming. Kind of, not completely the same thing. Big long reaches through your fingertips. If you're in standing, it should look like this. Really reaching, twisting through your spine and in your hips. Get that nice movement. Next one. Take your hands right in your midline. You're going to do a little squat and then reach out to the side as far as you can, stretching out the top side of your body. Come back to the middle, reach out to the side, stretch out the other side of your body on the top side. And then repeat, going into a squat and out, squat and out. If you're going to be doing this in sitting, you're simply going to be hands in front and then reaching out as far as you can, come to the middle, reaching out as far as you can, and come to the middle. Don't fall out of your chair. Continue with that movement. Nice long reaches, getting that stretch on the top side of your body, on that rib cage, opening it up. Good. Keep it moving. A little quicker. Pick up the pace. This is where we get our heart rate up. There you go. Keep it moving. Get that little squat and up. Little squat and up. Little squat and up. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next one, jumping jacks. Straight out to the side, feet together, and then you split everything apart. Feet apart, feet together, feet apart, feet together, feet apart, together. Doing a little hop. If your balance is questionable, don't add the hop, and just move your arms. Move your arms up and slam them down. Arms up and slam them down. Continuous motion here. And seated, same thing as just before. Arms up, slam them down. Continuous movement here. Next one is going to be split jacks. Taking your feet, starting in the middle, and you're going to alternate switching your feet to the front, and you're going to be bringing your arms to the front, out to the side, and across the front. A little horizontal motion here in the split jack. Again, if your balance is questionable, just do little back slappers. Come all the way around, big arcing motions. Slap the back of your shoulder blades. Same thing in seated. Continuous motion here. Work on opening up and stretching the front of your body, those pec muscles. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's check in on you guys. All right. How's people feeling? Is your heart rate up?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Heart rates are up. So we're now going to go into the practice part of our workout. So what we're going to do here is we're going to first go over that double arm row. So double arm row, ideally, you have 2 bags full of weights. So I filled up a backpack and a duffel bag full of some old textbooks. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a bent over double arm row. Take a split stance. And from here, keep your spine straight. You're going to pull those weights up towards your hip, just like so. We're going to go for about 30 seconds, and then you're going to switch the split stance. If you have weights that are uneven, so one is just notably heavier than the other, then what you'll also do is switch the arms at the time that we switch our stance. So let's say my duffel bag is a little bit heavier than my backpack. If I was doing this split stance here, as I switch the split stance, I will also switch the bags to keep myself even. Good. For our seated athletes, you're just going to hinge forward at your hips and then pull the bags up towards your hip. Both at the same time. So this is going to be a different stimulus than what we typically do with our single arm rows. It's going to force you to be a little bit more upright. And it's going to force you to balance a little bit more in the front and back direction. There you go. And then so make sure that you emphasize trying to pull to your hip. Again, that's going to better activate the muscles of your upper back, that lower trapezius, which is really important for shoulder stability. Good. If for whatever reason you do not have 2 different bags to work with, you can just use one bag. That's totally fine. And do your double arm bent over row this way, just like so. You could also potentially just grab the ends of the bag. This works just as well. You might get a little bit better range of motion out of that. So play around with what you have. Figure out what's going to work best for you. And remember, at all points, I want you to keep a nice flat back here. Make sure you have good control of your core. All right. Looks like people have already practiced their variations. Can I get some thumbs up? Are you guys okay with the double arm bent over row? If you have any questions, wave at me. All right. Good. So next one is going to be a curtsy lunge. So for the curtsy lunge, I want to make sure I have this pointed down enough so you can see. The curtsy lunge, we have some variations here that we can play with. Starting from the easiest version of the curtsy lunge, what you're going to do is you are going to start standing up with a chair behind you. You're going to reach one foot behind you as you lower down, touch the chair, and come up with this hand support. And reach around, touch the chair, and come on up. If you don't need that little chair, you can get rid of that. Have some hand support, working on rotating, twisting around, and then come back up to square, rotating around, twist, come back up to square. If your balance is pretty good, you can get rid of the hand support and then do a normal curtsy lunge, like so, alternating each side. If you are a beast and you can, that's too easy for you, you can start adding some load. Take one or two of your bags that you were just using for the bent over row, hold it in front, hold it to the side, hold it wherever you want, and then do the curtsy lunge, just like so, alternating. All right, if that little bit of a twist in the curtsy lunge doesn't feel great, you can always do a standard lunge, going straight back instead. That is always an option. All right, so that's the curtsy lunge. For those of you who don't necessarily have use of your legs, we're going to go over the reach through plank. So for the reach through plank, you may need some blocks if your core demands it. What we're going to do is we're going to be balanced on our forearms, like so. And then from here, you're going to take one arm, reach it through as far as you can. Come on up, just like so. Good, come on up, and then switch sides. Reach through, up, and back down. Reach through, up, back down. Some people call this thread of the needle. If that is a little bit too challenging, you can take some blocks, put them underneath you. And then from here, you can use the blocks to support your torso as you reach through and up. Alternating sides, reaching through and then up. If getting down to the ground is problematic for you, you can always perform the upward chop. So in sitting. So what we do with the upward chop, you have your weight to one side, and from here, you're going to lift the weight up and around overhead to the opposite side. So if I'm starting on my left, I'm going to go up to my right, just like so. And perform this just to one side to start, and I'll give you a cue at 30 seconds if you need to switch sides, and then switch sides. Good. Find which variation of either the curtsy lunge, the reach through plank, or the seated chops that's going to work best for you. Looks like everyone's found their variation. Is anyone doing the seated version? Wave at me. No, no one's doing a seated version?
I am.
Okay, so I'll give you a cue at 30 seconds then when to switch sides for the chops.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. So next one, we're going to go into the push-ups. So push-up variations. If you're not very strong in your upper body, you don't trust your core, you don't like getting onto the ground, you can always use a stable countertop or a wall to do your push-ups. So what we do here is we change our orientation of gravity to take the load off. And from here, you can do a push-up with some weight taken off. The most extreme version would be going up against a wall and doing a push-up that way. And then you can progressively take your push-up closer to the ground. So this chair now is a lower surface. This push-up now is going to be harder than when I was pushing up against the table. And eventually you get down to the ground. Once you're at the ground, some variations include doing push-ups from your knees, just like so. And then you have the full push-up. When you're doing your push-ups, make sure that you try to keep your elbows relatively close into your ribs. Try to avoid letting them flare out like so. Keep your elbows close in. You're allowed to have them somewhat apart from your ribs, but generally I say no more than 45 degrees of a flare. All right? Remember, you're going to be doing this for a minute. For those of you who aren't going to be doing the push-ups, you're going to stay in the chair. We're going to do an overhead press. And you can do this double arm. And from here, take your weights, press up overhead for reps. Make sure that you keep your torso upright Try to avoid excessively arching in your spine if you can help it. Maintain good form. Keep your elbows in front as you press. All right? Practice the variation that's going to work best for you. All right? How are we doing with the push-ups or the overhead press?
Good.
I see thumbs up. Good. Is it anyone going to be doing the seated overhead press? Okay, so I'll keep track of that. Good. So next one is going to be the lateral bird dog. Let's unmute you guys for a little bit. Lateral bird dog. Some of you guys may know the standard bird dog as this guy, raising your opposite arm and leg and holding for a pause there. This is your standard bird dog. The lateral bird dog, you're going to be moving to the side. So out to the side like so, balancing for a split second and back down. Come out to the side and then balance. Out to the side and balance. Key thing is you want to try to keep your spine as level as possible. You don't have to raise your hips up super high. You just want to keep your pelvis level as you're performing this movement. Make sure that you are under control. If you need a little bit more support, say you can't necessarily balance on your hips or knees, you can be doing this on your belly. From here, and from here, raise one arm out to the side, and then back down. Raise one arm out to the side, and back down. Work on that balance in that stance arm. Just like so. Good. Our alternative for this is going to be the single arm, or the lateral raise. So for the single arm lateral raise, you're going to take your weight, you're going to push this to the side, and from here, you're going to raise it up to one side, and then back down. Straight up to the side, and back down. Key thing is you got to keep yourself vertical. Try to avoid hitching in your spine as you're lifting. So keep this straight up and down. As you lift, force your obliques to keep yourself stable. All right, you might need a little bit of a lighter load from your backpacks there. That was definitely stressful for me there. All right, practice your version of the lateral bird dog or the single arm planks. All right. Did everyone get a chance to practice the lateral bird dog?
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
So I'm trying to figure out with the lateral bird dog what to do. I think you mentioned like something with lying your stomach in noise, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I'd have to do. Can you show me that again?
Yeah, one more time. I'll show that. So you need something to support you underneath. So some yoga blocks or a cushion, something that looks more or less like this. And you can stack this underneath your torso. You can put it anywhere along your body. The higher up your chest it goes, the more it's going to support you. So this is going to be notably easier. And then as you bring it lower down, it's going to be progressively harder because you're going to start to have to use more and more of your core to keep yourself upright.
Okay.
Good. I saw someone else had raised their hand. Any questions on the lateral bird dog? Yeah.
So are you pushing forward when you're doing it for the normal one? For like the regular bird dog, are you pushing forward?
Yeah, the normal bird dog, you raise your arms and legs straight to the front and back. On the lateral bird dog, we're going out to the sides.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just a fun variation. All right. Any other questions on the lateral bird dogs or the single arm lateral raises? We good? Thumbs up?
I'm good.
All right. So let's go into our last exercise here. So the last thing that we're going to go over is squats and dips for our seated athletes. So for the squats, our progression goes like so. We're going to start in a chair with hand support, coming from sitting to standing. So this is our most basic squat variation. If you feel this is pretty easy, you can take away the hand support and squat up this way. Next progression is getting rid of the chair and forcing yourself to squat a little bit lower. working a larger range of motion. Then we have our body weight squats. And then you can add load to your squats. You can take those weights that we were using before and perform squats this way. Make sure you keep your back straight at all times. Your chest should be pointed in front of you. Try to avoid rounding in your back. That is no bueno, and it's not going to be as efficient of a movement pattern. Good. For our seated athletes, we're going to be doing some dips. For those of you who are comfortable getting out of your chair a little bit, you're going to arrange once the chair is in a little bit of a diagonal. You're going to get between them, place your hands on top, and dip up and back down. Dip up and down, just like so. If you're feeling extra strong today, you can take your backpack full of weight, put it around your shoulder, and add some load to your dip. Make sure you keep your shoulders wide during these dips. Maintain this openness in the front. Try to avoid letting your shoulders collapse down, just like so. If you do not feel comfortable getting out of your chair today, what you can do is a dip with a shift. So pressing yourself up and then shift to one side, dip up, shift to the other side. Going back and forth, just like so. All right. If you have the ability to do so, you can always put chairs together and force yourself to go over a larger range of motion, if that's available to you. Don't sweat it if you don't have that. All right. Practice your variation of the squat or the dip that's going to fit you best. Remember, all these exercises we're going to do for a minute continuously. Good. All right. How are people feeling right now? Got a good
I'm
grip on
good.
all the exercises? All right. Any questions before we get into our circuit?
No.
All right.
Is it the same amount of time for all of them?
Yes, we're going to be spending a minute at each station. I'll be giving you a 30-second cue for those of you who are going to be doing anything that's single-sided, like the single arm lateral raises or the upward chops.
Already?
Good. So let's get in position. We're going to start with that double arm row. So if you have 2 bags or if just one heavy bag, whatever you're using for your rows, get it ready, get in position. We are going to be starting very soon here. Let's mute you guys. I'll get my stopwatch. Okay. So let's get started in 10 seconds here. Good. Gather your stuff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, stagger stance, and then pull up to your hips, and then back down. Continuous movement here. Focus on good controlled breathing. This first round here might not feel too bad. Rounds 3, 4, 5 might start to feel it a bit more. Continuous motion here. Pull to your hip. All right, keep it going. Good. 5 seconds. We're going to switch the split of your stance here. Good. 2, 1. Switch the split of your stance. Switch the weights if you need to, and continue to pull. Good. Continue to move. Get that squeeze between your shoulder blades. Pulling up. You should feel this kind of in the backside of your shoulders. Keep going. Keep pulling. Less than 10 seconds. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. Transition over to your curtsy lunge or whatever variation that you're going to be doing there. So curtsy lungers, reaching out to the side and up. To the other side and up. Keep it going. Let's move. Continuous motion here. So if you're doing your reach through planks, you're on the ground. By the time you got here, you're going to reach around, twist, and then come on up. Reach around and twist up. Continuous motion here. And for those of us doing the upward chops, we're moving here. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. This is the halfway point. All righty. And go. Keep it moving. Those of you doing the upward chops, make sure you monitor how your shoulders are feeling. They might start to get tired after a while. So make sure you're still maintaining good form. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition over to the push-ups. Again, whichever version of the push-up is going to work for you, whether that be leaning up against a countertop or all the way down to the floor. Your overhead presses are also fair game. Good. Continuous movement here. Pressing up overhead. Keep going, keep moving, keep breathing. Good. Remember, when you're doing your push-ups, try to keep your elbows in as best as you can. Avoid letting them flare out. Almost there, guys. Keep it moving. Keep a nice steady rhythm. Almost there. Keep going. You got about 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done with the push-ups. Transition over to the lateral bird dog. Lateral bird doggers, you guys are going to be on hands and knees, reaching out to the side, balance for a 1-2, and back down. Reaching out to the side, balance for a 1-2, and back down. If you feel like this is too easy, you can go up off of your knees. Do a lateral bird dog like this. Practice that stability, that control of the motion. There you go. Keep it going, keep breathing. If you're doing your lateral raises, switch sides. Make sure you're working each. Oh, that backpack's way too heavy for this. I'll use my duffel bag. All right, do your lateral raises. This is too heavy for me too. Oh my God. Keep it going, keep breathing. Continuous movement here. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Transition over to the squats or the dips. All right. All right, for the squats, pick the version that's going to work best for you. If it's using a little bit of balance, use a little bit of balance. If it's using a little bit of load, use some load. Keep your back straight. Chest is up. Go up and down. Continuously controlling your breath here. For our dippers, whichever version of the dip that you're working on, whether it be in between 2 chairs or in the chair, look for a continuous motion here. Keep the chest wide. Good. Almost there, you guys. Keep it up, keep breathing. Got 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Alrighty. Let's check in on you guys. How are people feeling? Good. I see
Okay.
thumbs up.
Good.
How were the transitions? Does anyone need more time for transitions?
Yes.
Okay. Which?
My knees tend to hurt when I do squats. Is there like something I should do to protect them?
Try to keep your knees right in line with each other if they are bothering you. That's typically a good way to correct for any kind of knee dysfunction.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
If that doesn't work, you're going to want to try to lighten the load on your squats. So add some hand support.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
And
Good.
for the transition, I think was bird dog to squat. I think that one was both the brush.
Okay. Yeah, I can give you a little bit more time for that transition. All right. But otherwise, doing good. Ready for round 2? All right. Let's get started. Get in position for the double arm row. We are going to get started. Okay. Oop, this guy blinked out on me. We're going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Pulling the weights up towards your body, particularly towards your hip. Get that squeeze between your shoulder blades and the back of your shoulder. Nice continuous movement here, flat back. Keep it moving, keep breathing. We're working 2 arms at a time here. If you don't have 2 bags, you can use 1. This works just as well. Good. Switch sides, or switch the split of your stance. There you go. Keep it moving. Keep the back flat. For those of us working this in the chair, make sure your spine stays in neutral the entire time as you pull up towards your hip. Good continuous movement here. I got too much stuff around me. This is a mess. Keep it going, keep moving, keep breathing. Good. You got 10 seconds left here. Almost there, you guys. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Transition over to the curtsy lunge or the curtsy lunge variations. So if you're adding some load to your curtsy lunges, make sure you keep your spine upright the entire time. If you're transitioning to the floor, we're doing those plank reach throughs. So coming onto your hands and knees, whatever variation of the plank that works for you, we're gonna reach through and up. Reach through and up, just like so. And then make sure you're switching sides. So reach through, up, switch sides, reach through, up. Continuous movement here. And if you're not on the ground, we're working our low, upward chops, working low to high. Good. Keep it going. Moving just like so, low to high chops. If you were doing these, you should have switched by now. Going to the other side. Working that twisting motion out of your body. Good. You got 10 seconds left. Keep it moving, keep breathing. Keep that focus. You're almost there. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition over to the push-ups. Remember, we can do these on the ground. Full push-ups, knee push-ups. We can be supported on an incline or against a wall. If the push-ups aren't working for you, we're doing overhead press in sitting. There you go. And press up overhead. Good continuous motion. Keep breathing. Maintain that control of your breath here at all times. Good, we're at the halfway point for this exercise. Keep it going, keep breathing. Good controlled motion. Keep going, keep breathing. 15 seconds. Keep those elbows in, don't let them fly out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Transition over to the lateral bird dog or the single arm lateral raise. Oops. For the single arm lateral raises, take a lighter weight, sit up tall, raise your arms straight to the side. Keep your torso straight up the entire time. Good. If you want to play with your balance a little bit here, you can pick up the opposite leg as you're raising the arm that's raising up. Maybe even kick that leg out so it starts to look like that lateral bird dog that people are doing on the ground. Lateral bird doggers. You bring your arm up and switching. Switch sides if you're doing the single arm lateral raises. Now going to the other side. Good. Keep it moving. Keep going. If the normal lateral bird dog is too easy, you can always get your knees off the ground and really challenge yourself that way. Work that stability. Keep it going. Keep breathing. Raise opposite arm and leg out to the side. If you're in the chair, if you have that available to you. Good. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Transition over to the squats. So if you're doing that lateral bird dog, come up, find your surface that you're going to be using. And whatever version you're going to be doing, you have some hand support, squat this way. Keep that chest upright. I was talking earlier about trying to keep your knees lined up with your feet. Sometimes the knees like to buckle inwards. It's really important that they track right in line with your second toe here. as you squat. That helps to make a nice straight up and down forced trajectory in that squatting motion. For those of us in the chairs, we're doing dips. So if you're between two chairs, we're working it here. If you're an absolute beast, you just put a backpack full of heavy books on your chest, and you're doing dips this way. If getting out of the chair is not practical, again, press up, transfer over to one side, up, and over to the other side, doing these little shifts with your dip. Keep it going, keep breathing. Almost there, you guys, 10 seconds left. Keep it going. Good control motion, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. Take a breather, get a little bit of water. All right. How are people doing right now? I hear some heavy breathing. That's good. Good. How were the transitions this time? Did you have enough time between the lateral bird dogs and the squats?
I think so.
All right, good. All right, very good. So, catch your breath. We're going to get into round 3 here. We're going to get to 4 or 5 rounds. Kind of depends on how well I keep track of time. But catch your breath for a quick second here, and we're going to get started soon. Get in position for that double arm bent over row. All righty. Grab your weights. Get in position. Take your stagger stance. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Oops, I need to mute the mic. Keep going with that row. Keep that chest upright. All right, keep it moving. Good continuous movement here. Keep that chest square, shoulder square, spine's neutral. Pull into your hip. Good continuous movement. Switch sides if you're in a stagger stance. Make sure that we're keeping ourselves completely under control during this motion. Seated athletes, make sure that you're maintaining a good neutral spine. Gain that nice pull off the ground. Get that squeeze between your shoulder blades in your upper back. Good. Keep it going, keep breathing. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curtsy lunges, curtsy lunge variations. Remember, if you need a chair behind you, this is an option. Have some hand support. Oop, don't trip on your chair. Curtsy lunge around, tap the chair, come on back up. Tap and come on back up. Continuous movement here though. Keep that chest upright as you're doing your curtsy lunge. Woo. Oh boy, I am a hell of a workout here. And then reach throughs. If you're on the ground, propping yourself up, reaching through, and rotating up. Get that twisting motion. Switching sides, each one. Good. If you're doing your upward chops, start on one side and chop upwards. Good. I think we are at the halfway point. Yes. If you're doing the upward chop, switch sides. Good. Good continuous motion here. Keep it going, keep breathing. Almost there. Less than 10 seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition over to the push-up. So you can come against the countertop, against the wall if you need to lighten the load a little bit. Maybe that might be a little bit too drastic. You can always use a chair. Just bring yourself a little bit elevated off of the floor to take a little bit of that load from gravity off of your body to perform that push-up. Make sure that you are moving well. That is number one. If you need to take a break at any point, take a break. If you're doing your overhead presses, make sure that you keep your elbows in front. Try to avoid letting them flare outwards. Good. Clean movement. That's what I want to see. Well, can't necessarily see all you guys, but that's what I hope you guys are doing. Good, clean movement. You have 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition over to the lateral bird dog. All right. If you have a little bit of support underneath you, lie down on top of your support and then rotate up and through. Switch. Up and through. Switch. Up and through. Switch. Keep it going. Keep breathing. If you're doing the seated version, keep yourself nice and tall. Raise the weight up to the side and back down. If you have some control of your legs, bring the legs out to the side at the same time to start getting this cross body tensioning from one side to the other. Good. Keep it going. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides if you're doing the single arm raises. Good. Whoops, that was the wrong way to do it. There we go. Seated lateral bird dog. There we go. Keep breathing, keep moving. Keep working that lateral bird dog. Get a little pause at the top and then come back down under control. Work that control. Keep everything level as best as you can. Almost there, you guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition over to your squat or your dip. So if you were on the ground, the lateral bird dog, transition over. Get in position for your dips. Pressing up and back down. Make sure you maintain the width in your shoulders if you're dipping. Remember, good form here. Move slow, move under control. Control your breathing. If you need to stop, you can take a break, catch your breath, working the transfer dips from one side to the other. If you're not going to get out of the chair here today, get those triceps engaged. Keep it moving. All right, working your squat variations, whichever one works for you, whether that be with assist or with load. Key thing though is it's got to look good. Neutral spine, knees lined up with your feet. There we go. Work on good clean motion. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All righty. Catch your breath, get some water. How are people doing? Excellent. I hear lots of exasperated breathing. That's what I like to hear. How are the squats feeling? Any issues with the squats?
All good here.
All right, so keeping them in line helps?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, good. So I think we have time for one more round. We're not going to do a 5th round unless Ian really wants to do a speed round. Yeah, he's nodding. You're going to go do one on your own. All right, so we're going to go do round 4. All right, so get one more little swig of water if you need it. Get in position for those double arm rows. We're going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Good. Remember, this is going to be our last round here. Make sure every rep is a good one. No sloppy reps. Like I said, I keep saying this, good form trumps lots of reps every time here. I want you moving well. Get that squeeze. Make sure you're feeling a nice activation of the muscles between your shoulder blades and your upper back and the back of your shoulders. Maintain that neutral spine. Maintain your balance. Maintain control of the weight. You move the weight does not move you. Switch sides if you are in a split stance. Seated athletes, remember, it's neutral spine here. Don't get lazy and start rounding or sitting upright and just doing this. That's a bicep curl. We want a row. Lean forward, force your trunk to keep you stable as you perform this movement. Pull into your hip. Get that squeeze between your shoulder blades and your upper back. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition over to curtsy lunge variations. Remember, if the curtsy lunge, the twisting doesn't feel good, you can always go straight back into a normal lunge, alternating. Just because you've been doing the lunge one way this whole workout doesn't mean you can't switch. You can always change what you're doing to either make it easier or harder if you feel like you haven't been challenging yourself enough. Good, working. Oh, the reach throughs. If you're doing some floor work, reaching through and up, reaching through and up, challenging that twisting component of your spine. There you go, keep it moving. Upward choppers. You should switch in 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. So if you were chopping from left to right, you should chop from right to left. Good, keep it moving. Good continuous motion here. Woo boy. Keep a steady breath. That is number one. If you cannot breathe, you will not survive. Almost there, you guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Transition to your push-up variations. If you're in seated, we're going to be doing the overhead presses. Elbows in front, press up overhead. Good controlled motion. All right. If you're doing your push-ups, say you're doing great, you're doing normal push-ups the entire time, you're starting to get tired, it is okay to drop to your knees. It is okay to raise the floor up a little bit. Do your push-ups in a chair or against a countertop. Make it easier as long as you maintain good form. Still challenge yourself though. The idea is you want to go as hard as you can right before form failure. Keep it moving, keep going. Almost there, you guys. Less than 10 seconds. Keep moving. Actually, no, I lied. Now it's less than 10 seconds. I can't count when I'm tired. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition over to your lateral bird dog. Again, if you're like Ian and everything's too easy for you, you can go to the hardest version of the lateral bird dog on your toes, knees off the ground. Reach to the side. Be balanced. For our climbers out there, this lateral bird dog looks pretty similar to your flagging position on the wall, which is why I love it. It's a great mimicking exercise. Good. For those of us doing the lateral raises, I should probably just call these the seated lateral bird dogs. Coming out to the side, raise the opposite arm and leg out to the side. Actually, now I have ideas for what I can do in future classes. Good. If you can't use your legs, just raise your arm to the side. Keep yourself as vertical as possible, using a weight that still challenges you. Good. Switch sides if you're doing the single arm lateral raises. All right, almost there. Keep it going. Keep a nice, controlled breathing. You guys are doing great. Solid work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. Transition over to the squats. This is going to be the last exercise for today. So remember, form trumps everything. I want you moving well. Keep your chest up, spine flat. Knees straight in line. Work really good quality movement here. If you're doing your dips, maybe it's time to drop the weights a little bit if you were using those. If you weren't, that's okay too. That's really hard. Make sure you're doing good dips here, pushing straight down through your palms on up. Keep your chest as wide as you can. Avoid letting your shoulders roll forward and collapsing. Keep that continuous movement. Work your triceps. Work whatever core you have available to you. Keep it going. Keep breathing. Home stretch, you guys. Dipping up in the chair, shifting over to one side, dipping to the up and shifting to the other side if you're still in the chair. Keep it going. Keep breathing. Almost there, you guys. 15 seconds left. Keep going. Keep moving. 10 seconds. Almost. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. That was solid. All right. How are folks doing?
Good.
All right. Did anyone die? I don't see anyone dead. You're still rolling on the ground. You're still alive. Good. So, how are people feeling at the end of this workout?
Dead. My arms can't move.
Good. Good. That's solid. You guys did 26 minutes and 45 seconds of continuous work today. Pretty solid. And I think you guys worked through a pretty decently hard workout today. I know I was getting challenged there. Does anyone have any questions?
I felt like for
that we
the
did.
dips, I was going like my arms were going way too far out.
Yeah, definitely you want to try to keep your arms in if you can for the dips. That means widening your shoulders. Try to keep this position.
I have a question.
Yeah.
My shoulder hurts a lot right here. And I can't do a lot of stuff, but is there anything that I can do other than rest it that will help it calm down?
So the shoulder gets tricky. There's a lot of things that can be
Right
going
there,
on there.
the forward, like crutching, walkering. I don't use my wheelchair, but if I did, like every time I go to get up, it's torture. And I'm old. I don't want to tear my rotator.
Well, so my guess is that your rotator cuff may be a little bit mad at you.
It is.
Now, with that said, most people, especially once you get over 50, pretty much everyone has a rotator cuff by the time they're 50, and most people don't even know it. So the thing is, it's symptomatic. So what you probably want to do is try to figure out why it's getting triggered. Is it because your rotator cuff is weak? Is it because it's overworked?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been that active.
Yeah.
And when I rest it, it is fine. But then when I start doing something, it hurts again. And I don't want it to get weak, but I don't know how to help it right now because I'm not out walking around. I'm not climbing.
So you might have to gradually increase the amount of loading that you're doing, because maybe you're going from like 0 to 100. Maybe you need to gradually increase the amount of loading that you're doing.
Okay.
So maybe just tone it down a little bit as far as the intensity of exercise.
Okay. I'm just doing stuff that I can do without using it, but I have to show up for class or I won't do anything.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Again, it's hard for me to give you great advice over the internet here, but my general rule is it's probably that you're loading it too quickly.
And once you're done, you should definitely ice it, because I've messed up my shoulder playing basketball. This is coming from a person.
I have a wrap.
Yeah, definitely ice it after your workouts, because that'll help calm it down a little bit.
Thank you.
I play sports for a living, so that's one of the things that I do.
I don't.
All right, good. Any other questions? Good. All right. Well, you all have a great weekend. It's getting really sunny out here in California. I don't know how it is in New York, but it's getting to look like summer. And
God, you're feeling like summer. Jeez. I stepped outside for 2 minutes and it was hot. What?
Yeah, it's hot in Oakland.
Oh God, it is definitely hot over here.
That's saying something. All right. Well, I gotta go. I gotta run. I'm very hungry. You all take care, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a nice